joining us is former acting U.S. Attorney General and America First legal board member, our friend Matt Whitaker. Matt, let's get right to the Menendez charges. I mean, this is amazing. 3 counts of conspiracy and bribery relating to the senator's contact with 3 Egyptian businessmen. Now, when the FBI searched the Menendez home, they discovered gold bars and a jacket stuffed with $100 bills in his closet. It's like a scene out of The Sopranos. How serious is this, Matt?
Yeah. Rita, it's good to be with you today, and it's very serious. What we're dealing with here is a senator that had been charged in 2017, had a jury that couldn't decide on his guilt, and it appears that he was emboldened by that victory, however small it might have been for him at the time. And so, this charge obviously is the gravest. It is using his position as a senator and a chairman to help people in exchange for money and what appears to be gold bars. I mean, this is about as corrupt of an allegation as you can get at the Department of Justice.
And as we're talking, as I mentioned, Chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Senator Chuck Schumer, said that he will temporarily sort of have him step down from that position. Menendez, though, in the last few hours has come out swinging, saying he's not going anywhere. He is not resigning. Should he resign? And also, Matt, explain how serious, because he was on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. It's a debate if he's still there or not. But that's a very key position. They determine aid for foreign governments. They have great sway. Talk about just how important the fact that who he is. He's one of the most powerful senators in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, he is, Rita. And, as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, not only can he direct foreign aid and approve it and make sure that it gets to places like Ukraine, but also he can help and shape U.S. policy towards, the Middle East, towards China, and so many other places. I can only tell you what's in the 4 corners of the indictment, but I have a feeling that this isn't necessarily the end of this story. If he's willing to take money from Egyptian business leaders, who else, was trying to bribe him? Who else was trying to approach him for official action? The people of New Jersey deserve a senator that works on their behalf and not in their own personal interests. And I think that's the bigger question here is are the people of New Jersey going to finally be fed up with his actions and allegations of corruption? Because, he's up for election in 2024, and this is going to be the perfect time, for them to change out and put a senator in there that works on their behalf.
Yeah, this is very serious. Now, Matt, do you see a parallel between this case and the allegations tied to the impeachment inquiry into President Biden? Is the difference maybe a Corvette for Joe and a Mercedes for the Menendezes?
That's such a great point. And there are a lot of similarities. We're dealing with the same course of conduct, which is essentially money or benefits paid to either a person or their family, and have that quid pro quo be for official action. And, the allegations in the bribery impeachment inquiry are obviously that we believe, and many believe, that Joe Biden received things of value, or members of his family received things of value to, have the Burisma prosecutor fired, and tied that to American loan guarantees. And so, Rita, there are a lot of parallels here, and, we need to root this out because at the end of the day, we cannot have a corrupt government. We can't have individuals serving in that government that are being bribed by our foreign adversaries and foreign people that don't have our national interests at heart.
Yeah, because as soon as this comes down, it obviously harkens parallels, maybe different with money in a coat jacket versus multiple shell companies. But it begs the question of following the money train. And of course, these are allegations at this point, but they're launching the inquiry. It's starting this week. Where do you see that inquiry going into Joe Biden, Matt? Because they are now saying they're getting some more bank records. They've also gotten, by the way, some IRS whistleblowers have come through in the last few days, basically verifying the other two whistleblowers, saying that David Weiss, who's now the special counsel, but at the time going after, as we know, Hunter Biden, so he says, for 5 years, even though not a lot of results, it seems that he was hampered, according to these other whistleblowers. So where do you see that headed?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt that U.S. Attorney Weiss, who's now special counsel, has not been completely honest. Merrick Garland, in his testimony this last week, was not completely honest with the American people and is trying to, play word games with whether or not Weiss had the authority to bring these cases. But, this impeachment inquiry is going to be important, and they're going to have to do the hard investigative work, including subpoenaing banks and other records to try to build this paper trail. But, we've talked about it before. It's the prosecutorial and investigative curiosity that just seemed, in the Menendez case, obviously they did a thorough job. They traced the money. They found it in a closet. They found gold bars. They had, used all the resources and tools available to them to investigate this case. But in this Burisma situation and in the Hunter and Joe Biden and Biden family, relationships with Ukrainian oligarchs and others, they just didn't have the investigative curiosity to chase this down. And now it's up to the House to have that curiosity to follow the money wherever it may lead. And ultimately, it looks like it's going to end up in the pockets of Joe Biden and his family.
Yeah, and we are going to be following every moment to see indeed where it does end up. Matt Whitaker, always great to have you. We love having you on, Matt. Thank you so much.
Great. Have a great day. Great show.
You too. Thank you.